Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Marina here, and it's such a pleasure to have you back on this channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Marina. I make videos from Saskatoon, Canada, where I share about my experiences as a Nigerian immigrant in Canada. If you have not yet subscribed, please do well to hit the subscription button below and turn on the bell notification so that you know every time I upload a new video. Subscription is absolutely free, so please do well to hit that button and join our family. To my returning subscribers, welcome my people. It's always such a pleasure to have you here. In today's video, guys, I am going to be giving you people gist. It is story time, how I passed my driving test and how driver's licensing works in Saskatchewan. I'm going to be giving you people the full gist. So if you don't have popcorn, it's a good time to pause, get some popcorn and grab a bottle of Coke while you're at it. My own Coke is right in front of me because this gist that I'm about to give you guys is gonna be tough. Tough gist. When we landed in 2016, local woman arrived in Canada without a license. Because I was not an active driver in Nigeria, I didn't think that there was any need for me to come here with a driver's license. Like, there was no need. I had a driver's license. We all know that driver's license is not a proof of how well you can drive in Nigeria. It's a form of identification. So I had one that I was using to identify myself. I didn't bother to renew it because I just thought, I can't drive. I will start from beginning when I get here. Wrong move. I made that decision without doing proper research. When I came here, I started applying for jobs, and there were a number of jobs that had the valid class 5 license required, and I would wonder like, but it's not driver work I'm applying for. Why do I need driver's license to do this job, to do admin job? So I started thinking about, okay, maybe it's a good time to start to consider getting a driver's license. So I first started to do some research. First thing I needed to do was take an online test. So I started to study for it, did a lot of practice tests, and I aced it. Like, I passed that one very well. I was very excited. Next step was to now do 6 hours in class and 6 hours on the road training. You can only do that training with recognized driving schools. SGI is like the motor licensing agency in Saskatchewan. I'll put the full name on the screen, but they are the ones that govern everything. So when I say SGI, they're the ones I'm talking about. SGI has a list of registered and recognized driving schools that you can go and take that 6 and 6 with. So you can't do it with just anybody. It's not the kind where you can just carry your car and go into one primary school field that your husband will show you, match the tractor and you go like that. It does not work like that here. You have to do it with recognized driving schools only. So I now started looking for driving school. The driving schools around where I was living was what I was considering at that time. That's how I now asked them how much it was. The first one said, well, I have to pay an initial registration fee of $100. I'm like, okay, not bad. Then next thing the person said was that for the 6 hours in class and 6 hours on the road, it was going to cost me $70 an hour for each of them. And I'm like, sir? Sir, I don't say I want to buy motor. I want to learn how to drive the car, and I'll give you the car back. $70 an hour to do it in class and do... Okay, no. I was going to pay an initial registration of $150. That $150 was for the 6 hours in class, and then for every hour we're on the road, I will pay $70 an hour to be on the road. You guys, let's do the maths. 70 times 6 hours, that's $420 plus $150 that you pay to do registration and to do 6 hours in class. That was going to cost me $590 to do driver education. If you like, convert this to Naira. You are going to be doing that at your own risk. I'm thinking about it now. My palms are sweaty. Wait, please let me drink Coke. My people, that is what I paid in 2017. $590 to learn how to drive. So if you are still in Nigeria and you have plans to come here without a driver's license, put your hand on your head and say, Father, deliver me from this foolishness. You need deliverance. Don't do that to yourself, because the difference between what a learner will pay here and what an experienced driver will pay, there's no basis of comparison at all. The amounts are completely different. When they told me that, I said, no, this has to be a mistake. I called another one. The price range, now that's the thing, you will never find a situation where the price range would be anything different from, the most you can get as the difference is $20. because if one person makes it too cheap, people will not go to the other one. So it's like they all meet somewhere, agree on the range that they charge. You will not get it different. They charge about the same things. I just had work. Is it my salary you want me to use to pay for driver education? But I didn't have any choice at that time. I was so mad. Like when I realized that I didn't have any choice, I was so angry. I was angry with myself, I was angry with my husband, I was angry with everybody. Like, for what can I go and use $600 to learn how to drive? It was not funny at the time, because the online test, if I were coming here as an experienced driver, all I would need is $25 for the online test, right? And then take a road test whenever you feel comfortable, but you have 90 days from when you come in with your driver's license from Nigeria. You have a period of 90 days within which you must take and pass the road test here to qualify for an SGI driver's license. There are some other people who come here with like international driver's license that I think you have up to like a 1 year validity. You can drive for up to 1 year here with that license, but if you're coming with just a regular Nigerian driver's license, you have 90 days. So it's $25 for the online test, then $55 for the road test, and then you pay for your license. It's like $25 a year. If I came here as an experienced driver, that's all the money that I would have spent. How much is that? That's like $105. Finish. Until you now, then after that you now pay like the $25 every year to renew your license. But to now go and pay $600 just to learn, like I paid $25 for the online test. This whole 6 and 6 was going to cost me about $600, and then the road test was not free, and then the cost of my license was also not free, guys. Hi, it pained me. Spending that amount pained me, but eventually I went, I did the 6 hours in class, did the 6 hours on the road, and then after you finish the 6 and 6, you will now get a certificate from the driving school that you take back to SGI when it's time to do the road test. Now, you do not just go back to SGI immediately to go and do the road test. You must drive for a period of 9 months as a learner before you qualify to take the road test. And while you're driving as a learner, you cannot drive unsupervised. There must be a class 5 experienced driver in the car with you at all times. You cannot drive anybody who's not your immediate family member. I had to drive like that for 9 months before. After I met the 9-month mark, anytime after that, you can now book your road test. The road test is very straightforward, right? They have a particular route that they take. They have 2 different locations that road tests happen in Saskatoon. It's either in downtown or there's another location. Downtown is like the most popular one. They have a route that they use. They follow that route. If you're able to master the road, know how to parallel park, then of course you're almost sure to pass the test. Me, I did not know how to parallel park, and at that time we were driving like a van. How do you, as a learner driver, go and practice parallel parking with a van? It took a while. It took me maybe like 4 or 5 months after the 9 months was over before I now gathered the courage to say, you know what, pata we fail, Abby, but this test we are going to do it. One day I just woke up, called SGI and booked my road test for like 2 months away. That's the earliest time that I could get. So I had 2 months to practice. Guys, one mistake that a lot of people make is that you do not practice until the week of the test, and then you're under a lot of pressure. And of course, when you're driving under pressure, chances are you will make a lot of mistakes. What you want to do in the period where you're waiting to do the test is you want to practice. The truth is, what you do every day, chances are you will master it. So what I would do is every day after work, we'll go out and drive. I will drive, and then I started my practice for the parallel parking. If you don't know what parallel parking is, I don't know if it's called another name in Nigeria, but it's that kind where you're trying to park between 2 parked cars, and then you don't enter from the front, you use your back. Like you go drive like this until the car is straight. They test you on your abilities to do that. So that's a very key part of road test in Saskatchewan. They almost always ask you to do that, so it's better if you know how to do it. So practice was the key. I practiced almost every day. I got somebody who helps learner drivers perfect their driving. He knew the route that the exact road test was going to be. So every evening after work, he would take me on that route and drive around, show me the tricks. Okay, this is what you do here. They are going to make you pass here because this road is tricky. This is what you need to know, and things like that. On the day of the test, I showed up, registered my name, gave them my completion certificate to show that, okay, I qualified to even do this road test. So how it works is you take your car there, and then an instructor from the SGI will get into the car with you. Both of you will drive whatever car it is you bring. The instructor will first stand outside and tell you, okay, hit the brakes, turn on the indicator to the left, to the right, just to be sure that your signal lights are working. And then when they are satisfied with that, they get into the car, and then he will give you the instructions. Basic instruction says continue to go ahead unless I tell you to turn left or right. Whatever I want you to do, I'll tell you ahead of time. It was like I was inside freezer. I started sweating. I was cold and sweating at the same time. Like, and the instructors, that particular one was not smiling. Like, that guy was annoyed from his house in the morning, and he took it out on poor girl like me. What's that? So both of us went on the road. He's just watching for mistakes. As you are driving, they are writing down. Anyway, when it got to time for parallel parking, as I turned the car like this, let's do the parallel parking, it was perfect on my first try. Like, I was so proud of myself. Before I even stopped, the guy said, oh no, that's okay, let's go, let's keep going. Hey, my ginger was now higher. I'm like, of course, I nailed this, I can do this thing. So I became more confident, just knowing that I had done the hardest part. So every other thing, in my opinion, went smoothly after that. So when we got back to the location, the guy now said, okay, turn off the engine. He said, well, this is a mistake I think you made. You signal too early. In my heart, I'm like, can anybody be too safe? I signal too early. How is that an offense? It's to tell other people what I'm trying to do. Safety first, sir. Anyway, that's the mistake I made. And when he told me the total number of marks that I had lost because of the mistake, that's how they do it. If you make one mistake, depending on the gravity of the mistake, you lose a certain number of points. If you lose 10 points and above, you fail the test. Anything 9 and under, you pass. So he told me the number of points I lost. I think it was 6 or so. As soon as he said total number of points lost 6 points, that means you passed the test, I almost hugged the man. I almost wanted to jump on and say, thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. I was so happy I passed first try. As soon as I walked back into the hall, like a lot of people were sitting there waiting for their own test or waiting for their own licenses, I just got in there. My husband was sitting across the room. As I walked in there, I just raised up my 2 hands and said, I passed. People started laughing. It was so funny, guys, but it was such a huge relief for me. I was no longer going to only go out when my husband could come with me because I couldn't drive unsupervised. Anyway, so that's how I passed the test. What do you need to know as you are going to prepare for this test? Number one, please, if you can get your license from Nigeria, if you can learn how to drive from Nigeria, it will help for you to do that. Just learn from there. It is cheaper. I mean, you will save yourself a lot of money if you do. And then when you come here, don't take the online test for granted. I know people who have failed it. Practice the online test. It's $25. Practice and pass. It can be very demoralizing when you go and pay $55 to take a test, and every time they tell you failed. So put a little more effort into preparing for the test. Learn the basic signs that you see on the road. Learn their meaning. Except you have money, you just want to be dashing them. Okay, so in total, what did it cost me to get my driver's license in Saskatchewan? I paid $25 for the online test. I paid about $600 for 6 and 6. I paid $55 for the road test, and I paid another $25 to get my license. Now, the way driver education is in Saskatchewan, it's a graduated system where the first step is learner. You cannot drive unsupervised. After you pass the road test, then you move from learner to novice 1. You do novice 1, you drive for 6 months. If you don't have any accidents or any at-fault collisions, any accident that you caused, and then from novice 1, you move to novice 2. If you drive as novice 2 for 12 months without any accidents, without any at-fault collisions or anything, then you become an experienced class 5 driver. You guys, your girl has 6 more weeks before I become an experienced driver. So right now, I don't drive anyhow. If you do have any accidents in the 12-month period, the 12 months starts counting again. So I have 6 weeks to the end of that program, and we are gonna reach the end. I'm not repeating nada. Okay, but that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today, guys, on my story time, how I passed my road test and driver's licensing information in Saskatchewan. This information is based solely on driver's license for regular cars, not commercial licenses or those people who need licenses for motorcycle and trailers. If that's the information you're looking for, sir, Google is your plug. I don't know anything about driver's license for trailer because it's normal car I'm talking about. I hope you learned something from this video, guys, and you had fun while we were at it. Please don't make the same mistake that I made. If you can learn from Nigeria, please, for the sake of your blood pressure and the amount of money. Now, this money I spent was in 2017. Chances are it is more expensive now. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Until I see you in my next video, please don't forget to subscribe on your way out. It's your girl Marina saying thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.